viewers, I'm your host Adanu Masood Abdullah. Once again, welcome to YEYI'S Saloon, and today we'll be speaking about financial literacy. Under financial literacy, we have what we call financial freedom. Financial freedom, otherwise known as financial independence. Now, what's financial independence? What's financial freedom? Financial freedom is basically when an individual has enough to live on without working, without being active, without getting involved into any type of job or work. So he's basically free of labor and he has enough to live on. Before continuing any further, I'd like to share this with you. A great man once said, true wealth is measured over time. True wealth is measured over time. It's not measured over how much money you have. It's how long can you go without working? How long can you go without working? How long can you go and live and stay? Without getting involved into any form of activity, okay? So being free financially, you can do what you want, you can go where you want, however you want, anytime it hits you. You can enter classic boutiques and do shoppings without thinking twice because you're free financially, right? You don't depend on any source of income coming from a boss or a third party, a superior party. You have it coming right under you. And to share this with you, Warren Buffett once said, for you to be rich, you must have a minimum source, about 8 sources of revenue. That's quite much. So if you imagine you have 8 sources of revenue. You have, you invested on stocks, you invested in the market, you invested in shoes, you invested in agriculture, you invested in restaurants. All these things, come on, that's about 5. Imagine you have more. So all these things generating you fun, generating you money, can make you actually live free financially. I would like to share a quadrant that says so much about the type of people working in our work today, okay? Working in our work today, basically we have 4 types of people. We have the employee, okay? We have the self-employed, we have the proprietor or the business owner, and then again we have the investor. Now, these 4 types of people, they are in a quadrant. The quadrant is divided into 4, okay? Into 2 major parts. And these 2 major parts, they collect what we call different types of revenues. We have the active revenue and we have the passive revenue. Now, first of all, to define who's an E. An E is an employee, one who works for a boss and he earns his money, he earns his income monthly, a salary or a wage, okay? Then we have the SE. The SE is a self-employed person. He's active for his own account. I can give an example of that. A taxi driver, he has to drive around town. He needs to be active to actually, get the fund to generate money for himself. He needs to be active. Another example of a self-employee is a barber shop. A barber shop, okay? He needs to cut hair before. He needs to be active for him to earn his income. We have as well the business owner on the other side of the quadrant. Mind you, I divided the quadrant into 2. We have the employee, and then we have the self-employed. Now we are seeing the business owner, okay? The business owner is someone that owns an entity. He owns a system. He owns an enterprise. He owns an organization. He has people under him working for him, okay? He doesn't need to be active before he earns an income. He can travel the world and money is still entering into his account. Further down we have the I. The I is the investor, one who invests, one who makes his money work for him. The I is the investor, as I said, one who makes his money work for him. Now, clear consciously, you look at the quadrant and it's divided in 2. You have the employee, the self-employee, and they earn an active revenue. Why called an active revenue? It's called an active revenue because they need to be active themselves. Their person is needed, okay? Now, on the other side of the quadrant where you have the B and the I, they have their money working for them, and they perceive an income called passive. They do not need to be active before earning money, before making money. Now, why did I bring this quadrant into display? We're talking about financial freedom. and I just bring about the quadrant that explains about the 4 different types of people working in the world. Okay, just to let us know, just to share with us a route, a shortcut. Because if you're in the B or the I, okay, your financial freedom is guaranteed. Trust me. Your financial independence, you being financially independent, you being financially free is guaranteed. That's why I brought up the quadrant to share with you. And to end this talk of today, we will see an instance. We have an individual who earns about $5,000 a month. He invested in stocks, okay? His money is working for him. He earns $5,000 a month. Now, $5,000 and his expenses amount to $4,000. Say, we have $1,000 left, right? That $1,000 left, he doesn't need it for anything. He can put it in savings. He can invest furthermore. He can do whatever he wants with that $1,000 more. Now, in the first place, he's not active himself. He invested. And it's the stock market that's generating him that money, that $5,000. His total expenses a month is $4,000. We have $1,000 left. And this is where you have attained financial independence, financial freedom, basically. We have so much more to say, of course, and this is but a short show, okay? So we will definitely share more and more in other talks, okay? Mind you, we have business intelligence, we have leadership nuggets. Today it was financial literacy. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.